Hello. Ooh. Okay, no, it's fine. I know I said in the schedule that I would be doing pages, but honestly I don't have any pages ready, so I'm just gonna do some extras for the ghost hunting club. I've started the little starter pack thing that I want to do for both of them. I also have a sketch for Mari as well. I'm just missing one object. Peachy made some really good suggestions yesterday, but I still need one. And I'm gonna rearrange the elements a little bit. So I'm doing that. I have 2 shots of animation, which you can't see. But I don't know if I want to do them today, because they're like this. This one I already did the character at the back, and I need to do the character at the front. But it's in a different file. And yeah, I mostly want to do this and sketch some other illustrations for them, because I want to make a few more extras. Especially since on Webtoon, hang on, it's here. My own series. This one. Yeah, I'm at 130 subscribers on my Comic-Con Webtoon, which is pretty amazing. And I would like to do a little illustration if I do reach 150. But I need to have that ahead of time, because I can't do it the day of. So we'll see. Oh, my phone is about to die. Survive 5 more minutes. Thank you. Okay. My partner got a little gift for one of their coworkers. Some stickers. It's all strawberry themed. And I made a little card for it. I didn't even think to take a picture. Well, it was night anyway. Made a little card for it like this with a ton of little strawberries on it. And it was very cute. And they also bought a bunch of balloons to blow up to put in the office. And they just sent me a picture of that. Anyway. How am I gonna go about this? Where's Pinterest when you need it? Okay, all the ones I'm finding have like a card at the back, the doll here, and then there's a piece of cardboard at the front with like the logo and stuff, but I don't want to do that. Probably gonna have to stay on this. I don't like the placement of this one, and I don't think the logo works very well. But what if... Okay. I'm hoping to be done with this before the trend dies. Which, I usually never manage. No. Do I not have... What? Do I not have their turns? There are like character sheets in there? Because it's not those. Do I seriously not have their main reference? Amazing. Wrong file. Okay. I thought I'd given her a belt, but apparently I have not. And I think it would be fun if I made one for myself as well. In the same, like the same style, the same vibe. I think it would be pretty cute. Does she not have? No. Okay, I think the proportions are cute and work for dolls. That's not surprising at all. Okay, but now I want them. I looked yesterday because I know I mentioned, like, when I was doing the remaining pages that I probably won't be printing a lot of the book because it's going to be very expensive and I just want a copy for myself. And I actually found one printer that was pretty cheap. The most expensive part of the process was the delivery, which was about like 9 or 10 euros and was as much as the book, which was crazy to me. And so I'm looking into it. The only thing is, if I want to sell the book, I need to do like some admin stuff with the National Library thing. It's not very clear how you do that. But yeah, I'm very excited to look more into that and hopefully get a few of them printed. Okay, what if I put the logo here? What's something that would fit in terms of vibes? Look at that. What if I put like a bunch of clouds? For the background. Well, maybe the other way. don't know if I could look into Barbies. That's more what I want. So those like little pieces, they're not glued to the back, but more loose in the box. The laptop is glued to the back. These will not be, and we're missing something here. I honestly feel so bad. Cause like, oh sorry, I gave you 0 personality. Or maybe we just don't put anything here? Because she has a lot of small accessories and not like a big one. Hello, welcome. Thank you, I made it myself. And it totally looks like me. I too have this wonderful golden halo constantly floating around my head. I'm glad it works again, the movement, the microphone and everything. It looks much cooler when it actually moves. Mari, what could I give you? I'm hesitant to just combine this with this, put a bigger thing here, and give her like a very, like her typical hoodie that she always has. Because it's not part of this specific outfit, but I think that could work. Or what I could do is move the laptop so that it's here. And then the snacks are in here. And then here, probably a bit bigger like this. Okay, I like that better, and it fits with having both of them a bigger item. Yes, they're my girls, Billy on the left and Mari on the right. They're from my comic, The Ghost Hunting Club, where they go on little ghost hunting adventures. Because Billy believes in ghosts, wants to prove they're real, wants to prove supernatural things. And Mari mostly saw a cute girl running a club all on her own and thought, I could join that club. I don't think ghosts are real, but who cares about the ghosts? I also like that layout better for the elements. I think it needs more visual interest though. Yes, I can merge all of these. The logo I can't, because obviously. I'll vibe with Mari's aesthetic. She has a cooler look in this than she does in the comic for now, where she's mostly wearing this kind of outfit, like big shirt, big pants, as little personality as possible. In this one she's got pockets, but in most of them she just wears hoodies with nothing on them. She's getting there. No, not this one. But yes, that's ultimately what I want her to be like when she gets some confidence. What size do I want this? If I were to print it to put it above my desk, which I definitely want to be doing. Let's see. That's about 16. I could do 15. 15 by 20. Create new. Can we get this in millimeters? Thank you. $150 by 200, not 2,000. And we're gonna put 600 just to be sure. Okay, that seems like a pretty good size. It's a little small. And then I'll just have to round the corners on my own. Oh. Yeah, I should probably save that actually. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna put the logo right away. I use this one, I think. Yes. Of course. Gonna lock that. $7.5. Oh, it's just not gonna show it? Okay, great. that's the middle. And that's the middle. This one we're probably not going to use very much, but the vertical one is pretty useful. Nope. Definitely not. That's for the barcode, which, oh, I don't think I have a font that does that. Okay. And I need to figure out all the fonts. Okay, let's try not to knock anything over, because I would never live it down. Let's see. Because that's one of the two fonts I used for the logo before I modified it. Is this one and another one that's not in the list apparently. Okay, that's not very practical. Nope, make me a separate thing. I'm not very good at graphic design, and that means it usually takes me a long time to figure out what I want for a font, for how to lay out my elements in a way that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. To specify the number of pieces. Me too, but it's still fun to piece things together. Yeah. I enjoy doing it, even if it takes me a while. But I'm never convinced my final result is like the best thing it could be for this specific thing. And when I was in school, I was like, I enjoyed doing graphic design, but it was very boring in comparison to what some of my classmates could do. Oh, that's also interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, is that how you write that word? It is! Wow, first try. Amazing. Never seen before. Noah. Why do I have a million versions of this one font? Which is not even really what I want. Okay. All fonts. Does this one not exist? Maybe it doesn't. A ton of the fonts that I have don't have all the signs I need. So like maybe they don't have the accents, which is very impractical when I do the translation for the comic, which is I do it in English first and then I translate it to French. And I need the accents for a lot of words. I'm not adding that on my own. Or some of the signs, because like here, this doesn't look right. All the rest of the font is slanted and not this. I don't like it. Nope. No. That's pretty cute. Okay, what we're gonna do is duplicate that and move it here. It's a little big. We could probably where is it in the list? Oh, it's here. Maybe regular? No. Regular and bold. That's a little better. It's starting to be, well, these two are technically the same, so I think it works. I like that better. And if the numbers could be bigger. okay. I thought I'd gotten confused and it was not the same font actually. 22. I don't want them to be much bigger, just not the exact same size as the font, because it makes them a little hard to read. They look like letters instead of numbers. This one is a little close. You can make barcodes? Oh, I can. And it just gives me a random barcode. Okay, I don't want something that I can actually use though. I'll trace that later. So it matches the brush. Is it seriously not going to turn exactly 90 degrees? Thank you. And one thing I want to do... Oh, actually I can probably do that with shapes. Here. Can I get rounded corners? Yes. Ooh, perfect. Not perfect, it's on the same layer. Now the only thing is putting it in the middle. And we're gonna say even more. Nope. Pretty good. Yeah, I think they're just like QR codes. Yeah, but I see like how to use a QR code in everyday life. I wasn't expecting a barcode, because I wouldn't know really what to do with it. I really should have done this in Illustrator, huh? That's fine. Let's put a symmetry ruler. Ideally on the actual line would be good. For real? It doesn't want to go in the middle? Is it at least in the middle of the shape? I don't care about the middle of the... certainly not that one. No. It's definitely not in the middle. Before I forget. I will make that cleaner and better in Illustrator and replace this. Anyway, this is a little square. We can fix it later, it's fine. I think for the layout this works. We're gonna put everything in a folder. And then duplicate these two. And of course, I was gonna say do they match, but no, they don't. Okay. Well, I don't like that. Okay, that works. I'm gonna do deck. This is the background, and we're gonna lock it. This is for Billy. This is for Mari. Okay. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that to work. Now, I need to actually draw the characters and the accessories. I think the laptop needs to move because it's in front of the logo. And I want her to be more, a little bit more in the middle, like a little lower. Actually, oh no. Of course it would do that, huh? More here. There's a lot of empty space here. What I can probably do is have the price here and then some text, or the opposite. I didn't think about writing the price actually. Okay, one thing that's missing for sure is the background, so I'm gonna do that first. Oopsie. Also, one thing I'm gonna do. Send it for approval. I don't like this. I don't think it looks the way I want it to. And I also think it's too light. So we're gonna take our usual pencil, this one, with the stabilization that I use for line art, which is 22. And actually, it needs to be way bigger. This isn't technically much smaller than the pages, because the pages I draw in A4. I'm gonna print them in A5, but I'm drawing them in A4. And this is technically like slightly smaller. This is 15 by 20, but it feels very different because there's not all the extra space. I don't want something too centered. with Mari here in the middle and the accessories here. That could work. Technically there's only the logo that has color, but maybe I could include it in their names and have like a gradient like on the text for the logo, on the text for the names. I did that one in Illustrator, but I'm probably not gonna bother for 2 ads. I don't want to put a white outline around their names, but it looks a little boring like that. Okay, and now, yeah, I think that works. I just need to find something for this space, which does not work. And also here it's a little empty. I think I like it. I think it works like that. And then for the names, what's the shade of red for that? Probably this. Nope. Okay. It would probably benefit from the white line as well. Whoops. Just a simple line, size 4. Okay, it would be better if it was straight. I have a better idea, but I can't do it for Billy. What I could do for Mari, and I'll have to figure it out for Billy. It's not the same shape. I thought it was longer. And then that's not in the middle. And then it would be like this one. The problem is, I don't know what to do with Billy's name. I'll probably go for something like this, like the G, but on the B? I think I'll make them in Illustrator. Okay, second screenshot for approval. Deck. Okay, I've been here an hour and I haven't even finalized the background. Whoops. And here I was thinking I would finish both of them and maybe do some animation. Slightly delusional of me. I think the barcode would need a white background to work, like in real life, but I'm not gonna add that because it's gonna look weird. And I also think the name's a little small. Oh. It's because of the gradient. Actually, it works like this. They take about the same space. But we need to do that. I'll definitely change it some more when I get to Illustrator, which is gonna fill me with rage, as usual, but is the best tool for this, which is always very disappointing. Now, we need another shape. Oh, I was looking for the rectangle, but because I changed the corners earlier, it did not look like a rectangle. What's the shortcut for this? U. Okay. Are they aligned? No, they don't look like they are. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, but that leaves even more of a space above. Maybe what I can do. Whoa, why is there so much selected? What else is in there? Oh. Okay. Maybe it could be like this. With these in here. These in here. And this one here. The laptop glued to this side and the phone glued to this side. It's a little big, but well, it's a game accessory. I can get away with that. And then the price here at the top. And it doesn't look empty, but it doesn't look like there's too much either. I think I like it like that. And for Billy, because I need to fit all her stuff as well. With this at the top. This one here. Mm. And the phone under her hand also. Nope. And then it would be one here, one here, one. Maybe if I put it a little higher. And I need to count to make sure she has some more accessories as well, because she doesn't have 10 like Mari does, but 2, 3, 4, 5. I can give her more books. She said a torch. So we're gonna give her that as well. Maybe some film for the camera? No, I have a better idea. She's gonna have some ghost pictures. Only 2 floating in there, but that brings her to 10 things, which I think is good. Okay, and in terms of proportions, do they look the same? Yeah, they look about the same. In the comic, Billy is slightly taller, but if this was like dolls being made, they'd probably just make one base model and then put their designs on top with no size difference. So I'm just not gonna bother with it. Okay, and now the part where I have to draw everything. Also, I want these two to be the same. And like this. Yeah, that still fits. We still have all the info. Not really. Okay, this one can go. This one is for Billy. Trying to organize my layers right now so I don't have to do it later. When I have 200 of them and none of them have names. We're at 20 for now. This is acceptable. Okay, we have the right brush. Stabilization, good. I think it's a little big though. Because usually it would be this size for the line art, but that's clearly too much. 15 is good. So we're going to do the sketch slightly bigger. Okay. Hardest part now. Because I can't just move things 1 or 2 pixels to make it look better. Okay. Peachy approved the layout. She did hers so quickly. I was very impressed. I do not work quickly enough to do trends usually. So I usually just don't try because I don't want to spend like a few hours on an artwork that I don't even end up posting in the end. But this one's been going on for a little bit, so I figured I would. And it's also very cute, which if I make this and even don't end up posting it, I'll be really happy with it anyway. Like, it's an extra that is nice for me to have. I had started in September last year, so that's to tell you, some little extra pieces, and I did, because I made an extra for Halloween, like a comic where there were costumes and stuff, and I made a little photo strip, like one of these. There's 4 pictures on them of the 2 of them at this Halloween party, which is so cute, but I don't know if I didn't finish it on time or whatever, but I didn't post it because it wasn't done, and then it was like too late. But I would love to get it printed just for me to put on the wall. Because I have my One Piece shrine, which I'm very proud of. I really like it. But I want to have my little comic shrine as well. Oh, what kind of art I enjoy making? I do mostly character art, I'll be real. I don't really enjoy backgrounds. I do make them, I try to make, not a lot, but a good amount for the comic, because I know it makes pages more interesting to have backgrounds on them. And it really helps for the story. But honestly, I don't like making them. And I also do animation, which I haven't done this week. Well, I have the 2 shots that I showed earlier, these 2, that I need to finish, but they're due on Monday, so that's okay. And I have another one for the 25. Ooh, when is that actually? Ooh, that's next week. There isn't a lot of frames to clean though. But yeah, characters all the way. I love drawing characters. Backgrounds I enjoy when it's painting. like gouache studies and stuff like that. That I enjoy. Which I haven't done in a million years. I was so excited last week because it was very sunny. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be perfect for painting. And then I was busy with other things, and now it's been raining for days. Not even like bad rain, thunderstorm, just dark and gray and cold, with enough rain that it's annoying, but not enough that it feels cool, that it gives this feeling of like the storm and stuff. Which is not motivating for painting. But yeah, backgrounds. My enemy. And I also have ideas for other comics I want to make, and a lot of them require intense backgrounds. Like underwater, that sort of vibe. So I'm going to kindly ask my friends, do you want to do background for this comic? How many? Oh. She doesn't have this one in the story yet, but this is her final appearance. So. I saw TikTok yesterday, someone comparing the outfits they give their characters in like the animations they make for them and the illustrations. In like animations, they're always wearing t-shirts and jeans, very simple. And in the illustrations, they have the most beautiful outfits because you can put a lot of detail. And in animation, you can't. And I constantly think about this when I'm like drawing her shirt, and I'm like, oh, I could add a design because I'm only drawing this once. I don't need to repeat it many times. It could be much cuter. Much more interesting. But no. Because she's gonna end up wearing this outfit at some point. I don't think she even has it yet. I don't think she even has this pair of jeans yet. Not that she's worn in the pages at least. Been dreaming about a comic forever, but I keep gaslighting myself saying I should practice art more. Okay, but the thing about making a comic, it's that it's the most practice you will get. Because you have to draw all of the things. You have to draw the characters like 50 times for a chapter. In all sorts of poses and all sorts of angles. Like you can set the amount of challenge you want. I'm not gonna draw like very intense camera angles because I know it's not gonna work for the style that I have, but you have to draw them doing a variety of actions because they can't just be standing around the whole time. They have to do things at some point. Honestly, I really recommend making comics for people who want to practice more because you just have to draw so much. And when I look at my first few pages, which I had to do yesterday, it's really like you can really tell the difference from how much I've drawn them and how much better I got at drawing them. It does not look like you. My friend Peachy got started on hers. Well, she's writing it as a graphic novel more than like a webcomic. So she's got like the whole thing figured out and everything. And she's gonna do it the same way I do, which is making pages first and then vertical scroll chapters second. Coucou Chacha, bah justement je parle de toi. And she's been having a lot of fun with it. And the pages look very cool. Please make more comics, all of you. Oui, par rapport à ton roman graphique, que du coup tu vas faire un peu comme j'ai fait, où tu fais d'abord les pages et ensuite tu transformes pour faire un chapitre vertical. J'ai vu ton truc que t'as posté cette nuit, ce matin, ou sûrement hier soir. Ça rend trop bien, avec les petites pages et tout. Par contre, juste quand tu mets tes pages, laisse les trucs de couverture vides. C'est genre les premières pages intérieures qui sont toujours blanches là. Oupsie, c'est pas ce que je voulais faire. Okay, that looks enough like her that I'm gonna accept it and move on. But yeah, next I'm hoping to convince my friend Aya to get started on comics. She would be amazing at it, but she has this curse of decision paralysis and feeling like she needs to do something better and nicer and prettier, and then she never does the thing. Which she should, because her designs are so cute. That's too long. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the hands. I haven't seen like actual plastic dolls in so long. I don't know what their hands is supposed to look like. Someone made the back. That is so smart actually. Oh, that is such a good idea. Oh no. They put themselves on clearance. That is so cute. Because most of them are just regular drawings. Okay, back to the Barbie boxes. What do your little hands look like, Barbie? Oh. Maybe not that then. The Brats? I never had any of them. Okay, pretty much the same. Maybe I'll do that then. Just trying to walk the line of I want every panel to be amazing to it gets the point across. You move on very fast from every panel has to be amazing because you've drawn so many panels already, so it's just, okay, does this look good enough for my standards? And my answer is very quickly, yes, it does. Moving on. Especially because I don't want to spend ages on one page, one single page, or one single panel. What takes me the longest is the panels with backgrounds because they take longer to ink and color and stuff. But other than that, no. My standards are quite low. And there's also the consideration of how long people will look at a given panel. Because you read books and, well, not books, but like comics and graphics novels and that sort of stuff, you read them very fast. Whether you realize it or not, usually you don't look at the fine details of everything. So if I spend an hour drawing the prettiest trees in all the trees that I've ever drawn, people will look at that panel for maybe 2 seconds, and then that's it. Je vais tout liker, je sais pas si ça te fait des notifs sur Webtoon. Non, sur Webtoon, tu n'as pas de notification sur les likes et les commentaires. Du coup, si tu veux voir les commentaires de quelque chose, il faut que tu ailles voir directement dans tes chapitres publiés, ce qui est très chiant. Et les likes, le seul truc, c'est que t'as un... Bah si je vais genre sur la page de mon Webtoon, j'ai le nombre de likes total, mais pas le détail. Et j'ai un compteur qui compte les likes sur l'intégralité de l'histoire. Donc sur tous les chapitres additionnés, combien j'ai de likes. Mais non, il n'y a pas de notification sur Webtoon à part quand quelqu'un répond à ton commentaire sur un autre comics. Genre si je laisse un commentaire sur ta publication et que tu me réponds, j'aurai une notification et un mail qui me dit quelqu'un t'a répondu, va voir. Mais si quelqu'un met un commentaire sur mon chapitre, et il y a au début de l'année, sur le Discord de Canvas, ils ont fait une update qui dit les commentaires pour les créateurs arrivent bientôt. Et on est mi-avril. Et je crois que c'était en janvier. Donc voilà. Il y a une extension sur navigateur, je t'enverrai par contre. Mais ouais, non. Les commentaires, c'est pas fou. Looking through to see if I had any snapshots of the comic. I forgot I made a 40-second video of me redrawing the same panels. Yeah. I don't redraw mine very often. I'm like, okay, does this look fine? Yes. On to the next. But I've also simplified the process a lot so that I don't have to... Because before I was doing this one, I was doing 2 rounds of sketches for my other comic, which looked like this. Where is it in my files? Work in progress. Pages. Finished. Oh, they're so ugly though. Man. They look really bad. But I was doing 2 rounds of sketches for pages like this. It's definitely not the best, but you know. And so I was doing like storyboards, which I'd done for class a million years ago. I did all the storyboards for that class. And then I did 2 rounds of sketching. So one first rough sketch and then another cleaner with more of the details. And then I did the line art and then the colors and then the shading, which there's not a lot of it, but there's still some of it. And then I thought, you know what? I don't think this is the best process for me. I don't think this is very fun. And then I moved on to doing pages like, let's see a simple one. This one where they're talking? Yeah, this one is a good example, I think. And most of my pages are like this. There's very little background, there's no color. I do storyboards that are like 2 centimeters tall, if that. I do one sketch, one pass for line art, and then the colors, which a lot of the elements are white. And then here I did color, like you can see there's a little bit of texture in this element, the desk. Now I would just do a flat color and move on. Because I used to color more of this stuff, but it took me way too long, so now I just don't. And that's it. And that's so much faster. Like, I think there's the time tracking on this one. No, there's not. It's more on the... Oh, because it's a PNG, I'm an idiot. It's on the recent pages. That's gonna take a million years to open, maybe? Maybe not? It takes so long to load, I hate this. Il y a un endroit avec les statistiques. Alors oui, mais les statistiques sont pour le mois en cours et le mois précédent. Donc ce que je te conseille, c'est d'avoir genre un petit Excel quelque part où tu notes à la fin du mois les statistiques que tu as fait sur le mois d'avant. Et juste ça te dit le nombre de vues totales, le nombre d'updates que tu as fait, genre si tu as publié 1, 2, 3 chapitres, le nombre de vues par update, et sur le mois en cours ça donne aussi les vues sur les dernières 24 heures. Donc si tu viens de publier un chapitre et qu'on est genre le 3, le nombre de vues totales et le nombre de vues des dernières 24 heures ce sera le même. Et au fur et à mesure ça se bouge en fonction de si tu as beaucoup de publications ou pas. Et sur les statistiques du mois dernier, tu as juste le nombre d'updates, le nombre de vues totales et le nombre de vues par update. Sachant que le nombre de vues par update, ça compte aussi tous tes chapitres précédents. Donc si tu as déjà 50 chapitres et que tu publies le 51, si quelqu'un lit tous tes chapitres, ça fera une vue par chapitre, plus une vue sur le dernier, plus tous les gens qui vont venir voir le dernier. Donc la moyenne sera assez basse, parce que bah forcément, s'il y a quelqu'un qui a lu tous tes updates d'avant, ça fait baisser la moyenne. Voilà. Et il n'y a pas de secret, c'est juste plus tu fais d'updates et plus ça va monter les chiffres. Genre je faisais beaucoup plus de vues quand je publiais mes 3 pages séparément, une tous les 2 jours, que là maintenant quand je publie le même nombre de pages qu'avant globalement, 3 ou 4 pages par semaine, mais que en une seule update. Okay, I did get Clip Studio number 4 recently. What pages are out? This one is definitely. And I spent exactly an hour and 7 minutes working on this. I do the thumbnails in another file, so I don't count that. But then the time I've actively worked on this page is an hour and 7 minutes, which counts the paneling, so making the panels, the text, the speech bubbles, which I do before everything else. So I know that I'm not gonna like make the prettiest sketch ever and then realize that my text is on top. And then I do the sketch, the line art, the color, and the backgrounds after like doing all the text. And I know a lot of people do the text last. The only part of the text that I do last, if there was like sound effects or maybe a note, maybe something more that wasn't dialogue, I do that last when I do the line art, because I can't like really plan for it before. But that's the only thing, and I count that as line art when I time how much I spend working on a given chapter. I don't count per page, I count per chapter. Don't like drawing with more than 2 layers. Oh, that's gonna be a little complicated for comics. I also don't have any, I have limited shadows, which are here, and I do when coloring. Like this, and the one at the skirt. And I don't have any highlights and not a lot of general shading. I have a few gradients on some pages, but also not a lot of them because I didn't want to have a ton of it because that takes a lot of time and I'm not very good at it right now, so I decided to limit that. But yeah, that's my little comic. But since my style is very simple and I've tried to streamline the process as much as possible, most people spend more time on their pages. Most of my friends don't spend that little. And if you do full color with lots of shading and lots of details and complex designs, you can spend an hour per panel, like, doing it real nice. No problem, I hope it helps you. I hope it motivates you to make your own little comic. Because I always love to see more of them. D'ailleurs pour les bulles, tu as des brushes, j'ai regardé hier, je sais pas trop quoi faire. Pour les bulles, j'utilise cet outil. En gros, tu peux changer la brush qui est utilisée. Donc il y a les brushes de base qui sont déjà inclus, mais tu peux rajouter des brushes toi. C'est un truc, c'est un processus un peu spécifique, tu le fais depuis la brush, depuis les paramètres de la brush. Mais si tu fais par exemple tout ton line avec un truc très spécifique et que tu veux absolument que ce soit la même brush, tu peux. Je t'avoue que je me suis pas fait chier parce qu'au final ça prend pas en compte la pression si tu utilises l'outil de base comme ça. Donc tac, tac. Si je fais genre une bulle ronde, ça va me donner ça. Et donc avec une brush sans pression, sans rien, il fait automatiquement l'arrière-plan. Et tu peux avoir plusieurs options, comme par exemple ça va créer automatiquement un nouveau calque pour ça ou ce genre de choses. Des couleurs pour le remplissage et le contour. Donc moi j'ai forcément la première couleur qui est ma couleur de contour et ma deuxième couleur qui est ma couleur de remplissage. Donc si je change, ça donne ça. Mais c'est pas très utile. Et après t'as plein d'outils en fait. T'as une plume que moi j'utilise pour faire en général les petits trucs comme ça, je sais pas comment ça s'appelle. Mais pareil, tu peux mettre n'importe quel crayon que tu veux. Et là pour le coup, ce sera avec la pression. Donc si je fais ça, il va me faire une bulle comme ça. Si tu veux avoir des bulles un peu plus uniques, un peu plus organiques entre guillemets, voilà, tu peux faire ça. Et sinon, il y a des milliards d'assets qui sont des bulles en fait. Et il y en a beaucoup qui sont gratuits. Ouais, j'ai ma petite collection. Ah mais c'est mes favoris ça. Je serai peut-être pas là-dedans du coup. Zut. Genre tu peux télécharger voilà, des trucs comme ça. Et après juste tu l'importes. Ouf. Tu le modifies comme tu veux. Et il y a des points. Et tu peux bouger ces points pour changer la forme. Tu peux faire ça aussi avec les bulles que tu as tracées toi. Pour avoir vraiment une forme qui correspond exactement à ton texte. Sachant que c'est bien d'avoir un peu de place autour du texte. De pas avoir des bulles qui soient trop serrées en fait. C'est un certain style mais je pense que c'est pas trop ce que tu recherches. Ça se fait plus dans les vieux comics où ils ont des murs de texte parce qu'ils ont 4 pages pour une histoire qui s'étale sur genre 4 ans. Et voilà. Mais t'as plein d'options, plein de trucs. Et tu peux aussi avoir des effets. En vrai je les ai là dans mes trucs. Non, c'est en bas qu'il faut qu'ils se mettent. Des bulles genre comme ça. Ça c'est plus les bulles de manga. Où il y a des trucs un peu spécifiques. Et ça je pense que ça se fait aussi avec une brush mais je sais pas exactement comment donc c'est un peu pénible. Donc c'est bien de les télécharger juste et d'avoir... Voilà. Et automatiquement les bulles que tu fais sur le même calque vont se combiner. Donc se transformer en un seul truc. Et si tu as déjà du texte qui est écrit et qui n'est pas verrouillé et que je fais du coup pas ça, mais si je fais ça, il va automatiquement me mettre les deux ensemble. Genre il a tracé la bulle autour du texte, et là ils sont sur un seul calque, ils sont liés l'un à l'autre. Donc si tu veux que tes bulles et ton texte soient séparés, genre si tu vas faire de la traduction derrière et que tu veux garder exactement les mêmes bulles, tu écris tout ton texte, tu verrouilles le texte, et ensuite tu fais les bulles autour. Ou inversement, genre tu fais l'un en premier et après tu verrouilles et après tu fais l'autre. Parce que sinon ça va automatiquement les combiner. Et ça me rend folle quand c'est ça. Genre quand ils se lient et qu'après pour les séparer c'est super chiant. Voilà. Mais j'avoue que moi je me fais pas chier, je fais vraiment toujours les bulles comme ça. Des fois j'en fais des carrés parce que ça va mieux avec le truc. Genre si c'est des trucs de technologie, des messages, des choses comme ça, je les mets dans un carré. Et sinon je fais des bulles rondes ou des bulles ovales. Et entre le rond et le ovale, je vois pas la différence, je t'avoue. C'est juste la forme de base quand tu le traces. Voilà. Les studios et les bulles. Mais j'aime bien regarder dans les assets ce qu'il y a en bulles parce que souvent il y a des trucs très beaux. Il y a pas mal de bulles pour les trucs un peu spécifiques, genre les gens qui vont crier, les choses comme ça. Donc je te conseille de regarder un peu ce qui est proposé en fonction de ce que tu vas avoir. Parce que tu peux les tracer à la main toujours, mais genre un truc comme ça, flemme de le tracer. Ce serait bien si c'était... Parce que tu vois le nombre de points. C'est un peu chiant. Alors que si tu le prends de quelqu'un qui l'a déjà fait, bah en 2 minutes c'est bon. C'est juste des fois il faut retoucher un peu l'épaisseur du trait pour que ça aille un peu mieux avec ton line ou des choses comme ça. Voilà le tuto du jour sur comment faire des bulles. Maintenant tu as la connaissance, tu peux faire des pages magnifiques. Ah, et il faut que ta police soit installée là où tu vas ouvrir ton truc. Parce que si genre, si je t'envoie ça et que tu l'ouvres juste, les polices vont rester les mêmes. Il n'y aura pas de problème, tu n'auras pas de truc. Mais dès que tu vas essayer de modifier le texte, si la police n'est pas installée, il va te le remplacer par le texte de base de Clip Studio, genre la police la plus simple possible. Et c'est très pénible de tout remplacer. Donc petit conseil, vérifie que ta police est la même et qu'elle a le même nom. Sinon tu vas pleurer. Comme moi il y a 2 jours. I want the first color to draw, not the second one. Okay. I didn't give her a logo for her laptop because I was honestly not inspired and I didn't want to come up with something, but I don't know if it's gonna look like it's a laptop. Probably not. I also need to match the width of line art of this to this once I'm actually doing it. When we went to London last year, there was a Lego store, which we went to on the very last day, before we took the plane back. We didn't know it was there, it wasn't planned. And they had those bins like it was like a sort of tree thing with lots of little bins like this. You could put your little hand in for parts of Lego characters, like a ton of different heads with different expressions, different hairstyles, all of that. And you could like make your own little figurine. There was a minimum amount, and I think it was 3, I'm not sure, or 5 maybe, and we didn't have the time to do it. I really wanted to, but we just didn't really have the time without being stressed out for the playing. And I think it was so cute, and if I go to another city that has one, I definitely want to do it. And I'd probably make like myself, my sister, and my characters. My partner if they want to, but I don't know if they would. But yeah, definitely my little babies. Imagine having custom Lego figurines of your OCs. That's the best. I'm thinking about this because I'm making like toys, and 2 of my friends are meeting in London next month, sometimes next month, for a concert, and they're planning to go to the Lego store. Actually, maybe there's one in Paris. Let's zoom out. Oh. There's so many. Oh, and this one is really close to where we're going. Okay. Do you offer this one single thing that I want? Because I don't have any Legos, and I never did growing up. I'm not sure that they do. It looks very similar though. Ooh, maybe it's that? Yes, it is. Oh, that was 3 years ago though. Well, that's definitely going on the itinerary. Two days ago, possibility of creating your own Lego. Nice. Anyway, focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing and not planning a trip that's in several months. gonna put a logo on this, even though hers doesn't have one. I think it's not very clear otherwise. Oh, also, I was thinking of adding text written like this. So maybe I could do laptop. But I wanted something like, I'm not gonna say funny, but related to what they're using this for. Like conspiracy theory sticky notes sort of notes. I don't know if it fits with the design I've made so far. Did my message send? No, it did not. Great. For some reason, my phone has decided that sending pictures through texts is now impossible. It just won't send them. It loads for 15 minutes and then it's like, oh, I can't. Maybe check you're connected. Like, what? Of course I'm connected. I don't know if it's from my phone or my provider. I don't like the shoes that she has. I think I'm gonna change them. Because that's kind of ugly. And also very simple. Like, zero effort. What does she have in other designs? These are pretty cool. Outside, what does it mean? Oh. This is for the Halloween thing for this year. This is also. Those are pretty simple also, but I think they would fit a little better maybe. Nope. These ones I think are what I want. Well, this is similar actually. It's not the same, but it's similar enough. This is the outfit she wore in the forest, which is the closest one to what I want her to wear like later on. But she didn't have a great time in the forest, so I probably won't come back very soon. We're gonna make them slightly smaller. It feels so weird to draw her with different proportions to usual. Okay. And then later I will add a little like thing to that like holds her, but I want to do the main liner first and add that later. Maybe for the hands as well. Maybe not. Je finis de lire, c'est tellement chouette. T'as lu quelle version? Parce que, bah, de toute manière, peu importe laquelle t'as lu, je vais t'envoyer un drive avec le reste. That's not the right account. It's on contact. Thank you, Google Drive, for being so easy to use. Tac. Je le mets dans mon channel sur Discord. Si tu veux lire le reste des pages qui sont pas finies de sortir. Mais oui, la traduction française, j'ai pas fini. J'ai eu la flemme. Mais je me dis que maintenant que j'ai tout fini, je vais juste dupliquer mon fichier et refaire toute la traduction. Comme ça. D'un coup. Quand j'aurai la foi. Mais c'est pas pour tout de suite, je pense. En tout cas, je suis contente que ça t'ait plu. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm gonna do some line art. Because I want to get started on a sketch for Billy right now. I need this, and then this 222. So it's the same as usual. Perfect. This is actually rather clean. I wish I could do this, like, clean line art from the very rough boards that I make, but boards are a little too messy still. The thing is, if I make my boards more detailed, I'll spend ages on them, and that's not what I want. But if I want to go straight from storyboards to line art, I need to make my boards more detailed, so I don't have to do the sketch part. But it feels a lot like I would just be doing the boards and the sketch at the same time. I just can't ink on something that's not somewhat clean. So for now I'm still doing very ugly, very rough storyboards. And then sketch. She looks so much happier than she is in the pages. You have not known the suffering that is coming for you. You have not seen any ghosts and ghouls and whatever else is haunting the places you're going to. You are but an innocent child. Okay, did my photo at least fail to send? Yes, it did. Okay. The only reason I use WhatsApp is to send pictures. Because they won't send otherwise. Let's see, gallery. Yes, I do have a folder. Okay. pretty sure it would actually be a nightmare to give this kind of accessories to a toy, but I don't care. They're not real. I should also finish the photos that I made. Also, the new character that's in the most recent chapter, Abby, I don't know if she's in the pages yet. I don't think she is. But I have, like, I want her to take a lot of pictures, specifically Polaroid pictures. And I want to design a bunch of them and, like, post them as extras at the end of some chapters when she's there more. Or they mention her or something. I hope people like her. Because I really like her. And I also really like the way I drew her. She's fun. Doesn't really look like the ones she has on the reference, but I think that's okay. I like it better. Already between the original comic that inspired the entire story and the first chapter, there's many differences in the way I drew them. The original comic that I made was a Patreon exclusive, and it took me so long, so when I decided I wanted to do more of it, I had to just change a lot of the process, or I would just have cried every time I had to make a new page. Because I was coloring a lot more by hand and it took me just too long, and I was doing a lot more effects when it comes to light and shadows, which made sense for the story and was visually interesting, just not efficient enough that I would do something that releases somewhat regularly. Well, I mean, all my pages have released on time so far, but like, I need to make a certain amount of them every week or every month, so I have a buffer, and I could not do it if I worked like that. Especially since I was pretty impatient to start publishing. So I started with just like a cover that I put out on Webtoon, a few pages that I'd done and like finished, and ideas for more pages, and I just said, okay, let's go, and I made them. And I made a bunch of them. And I did build up a buffer, but in the very beginning I was like, okay, I just want to publish something. And I just did. And I would be like, no, I need several weeks scheduled before I can even think of hitting publish. But it went fine. And at some point last year, in the summer, I had like 2 months of pages scheduled and ready to go. It was the best. And now I have, well, I have a month and a half right now. I have until the end of next month. But I changed the schedule and the way I make the pages. The schedule for making the pages, not the actual art. Which means it's easier to have more buffer when I'm done with a chapter. Okay, I like it. And I was saying on the Canvas Discord that I don't have time to do both pages and a lot of promo, because we were talking about animations specifically and the fact that it takes so long to do animations, but it's very efficient for like advertising the comic because people love animation. And my friend soon was saying, okay, but if you build enough buffer or go on a break for a while and just make a ton of animated promo, and then you just go back to doing pages. And I think it's interesting. I might try that once I've built enough buffer that I feel like I don't have to work on pages more than other things. So we'll see. It's probably gonna take a while. But if I do make all the storyboards for the second volume all at once, that's definitely gonna help. What's your phone supposed to look like? Okay. Oh, forgot this. First try. Nice. Come on. Oops. Okay. I forgot the phone. Okay. Pretty nice. I think it works. I really need to fix this, but... because technically in this one it was transparent to start. Like this was a cut, but most of the time with the export it looks white, so I think I exported it to be white in the end. Let's see. Little updates. That's much better than what I had before, which was this. I like this version better. Okay, 11:22, perfect. Right on time. I'm gonna go have lunch. Because I'm done for now. I need to take a break, unshrimp, make lunch, have lunch, and then I'm streaming this afternoon, but I'm playing Genshin. I'm doing Leeway, the story in Leeway, which I started yesterday, and I did pretty good. I did all the Adepti, like, domains, and it went well. I defeated the puzzles, which was not guaranteed without Google. And yeah, I'm gonna do that this afternoon. And tomorrow morning, I'm streaming more art, but probably without a mic, and I'm just gonna do sketches and like studies and random things. Until then, I will see you this afternoon. I hope you have a good lunch or a good rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world. And that you had a good time today. Goodbye!